space button that's usually in the dock. You can replace those. That's what's going to activate your 3D content. Now, obviously, this isn't going to show up very nice in here, but when you press it, it brings up your 3D interface. Then you kind of have to find in your sweet spot. For me, it's about 12 inches, and it's different for everyone. And as you're going through there, you can see a bunch of preloaded content. I want to make sure, since 3D is such a new technology, that we have enough on there to kind of get you started. And then, since we give you the cameras on the back, and we have that partnership with YouTube 3D, we anticipate very shortly there's going to be a huge amount of 3D content out there. Okay. So as we're going through here, you can see the 3D games, 3D guide, because obviously this is new for everyone. You need that. And then I usually start with the 3D gallery when I'm doing a demo. And as you're in there, it's mostly just movies and things like that we preload. But they're movies that give you a specific depth. So when you're shooting 3D or demoing 3D, it's always important to have something that actually has depth to it. One of the best ones, I'm not really into the ballet myself, but it's, where is it? I think it's that one. This is great because it gives you that depth once it gets to the orchestra bit. It's going to give you the depth of the stage. Now when you're sitting and you're watching play or whatever from the upper balcony, you can see the whole stage. Now in 3D, and I don't know if you guys can kind of see that. No, obviously not on your cameers, but
yeah, I can see that now.
That's the type of content that really pops on this. You know, if you just have something watching the street go by, it might not be great, but I think the city here, if we walked right outside and walked down the streets with the buildings on either side, it'd be perfect. And once your eyes get good at it, it's hard to go back to 2D. But, you know, there's some people who watch TV or 3D TV for a long amount of time that might start getting a little headache or whatever, but honestly I hadn't experienced that. But so that's an example of just the movies and things like that.
Now how much storage is it coming with?
Internal storage is 8 gigabytes, but comes with an 8 gigabyte card as well.
Oh, so 16.
Up to 32, exactly. So again, access it through there or the 3D button on the side. What I like about that, just not to get off topic, but the 3D button on the side is great because you can turn on and off the 3D. We're not forcing it upon you. The fact that this has to have the power to do 3D in general, it means it's one of the most powerful 2D smartphones on the planet already. So even if you didn't use the 3D, it's going to be more powerful than anything else with the dual core and the dual channel, dual memory. Let's give you some 3D games here. There's going to be more of these coming out, but these are the ones we kind of give you. Where'd they go? There they are. So it comes with Asphalt 6, Let's Golf 2, Nova, Gulliver's Travels, and another access for movies. But I'll just give you the trailer to Asphalt 6. Just kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about here. So gaming kind of takes it to a new dimension, pardon the pun. But if you're driving, you're going to see the car in one dimension, sort of the others deeper. So it's you'll kind of wonder how you ever played a 2D racing game before this. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Oh,
yeah, I can see that.
As an aside, on my personal phone yesterday, I downloaded the new Spider-Man 3D. It's sick. Yeah. And with these graphics, a lot of times, you know, they're designing these games with 3D in mind, so it's a little bit more crisp 3D than you might get just walking down the street. Yeah, so this is just an example of one of the games. Okay. And we're working very closely with Gameloft to come up with more. Another Gameloft game that people seem to like is the Let's Golf stuff. Now, it's a little hokey, but when you see it in 3D, you want to play it.
Alright, game load times.
Good, because it's dual core. So a game is, well, you couldn't even play a game of similar size on single core. So given that's a huge game, I forget how many hundreds of megabytes. Yeah, game times are really, or load times are really quick. So just another example.
Okay, yeah, I can see the scene.
The flyby. I can imagine flight games are going to be pretty cool with this.
Just popping out.
Exactly. And again, if you guys want to kind of hold it too, you'll be able to get your depth of field. But
I can actually just can see from here quite well.
Cool. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, the viewing angles are surprisingly good. I know, like the Nintendo 3DS has some good viewing angles. This is right on par with that. Just to give you a couple things on the UI here. It's the Optimus UI 2.0. So nice little functionality. It's taking certain things that Android could do a little bit better and making them easier to use rather than reinventing the whole thing and thereby loading down the processor with unneeded tasks and things like that. So with the apps, you can just pinch now breaking down into added or sort of categories. You can add categories, you can move them around.
Okay.
What I like to do is take some of the maybe the stuff in the phone that they preload, the bloatware, and maybe you'll never use them or think you won't often. Maybe create a drawer at the bottom called extras and throw them in there. So if you can't delete them, maybe you can ignore them. It's a nice little feature. From here, if you press your menu button, you'll get Manage App, and I think we don't, yeah, we have one thing downloaded on here. So anything you could download will be marked by an X.
Okay.
You can delete it right from the home screen, rather than having going through 6 menus deep just to delete something. So again, it's just another couple lines of code rather than a whole UI beast in the background making that happen. You can see there's some others, but in the same screen, after you press that button, you can also press and hold, and that's where you can move them to different categories. So it's a nice little feature. Just an added feature, if you press menu, you can also view them by list or layout. Oh, so there's more than just list, but list is one. So this is all alphabetical order. Again, pinch. Nice. Now that pinch gesture is really kind of nice. I don't believe we have a lot of contacts loaded on here, but if you had like A to Z, 150 contacts or whatever, and you wanted to get, it's first time opening the address book on this one.
Actually,
but yeah,
something like that. Okay. Really
but yeah, okay. So there's a few on here, but just A. But if you had like a guy named Scott at the bottom, you pinch it, it would go down to S.
Okay.
So it's a nice little feature. And how I personally use mine. Now again, this isn't going to have a ton of email on it because it's a demo device with a new SIM in it.
Yeah.
But if you have 400 emails from 1 week to 4 months, and your boss says, hey, I need an email from 3 weeks ago, instead of scrolling down for 3 weeks, just pinch, and it'll drop it down in little boxes for 7 days, 1 month, 3 weeks, or whatever. So it makes it a lot easier.
All right.
I got to defer to Martin after this.
No problem.